Alhamdulillah, for this together, inshallah, another day of Ramadan. We ask Allah, inshallah, give us more tawfiq to understand the importance of this month and forgive us, inshallah, in this month with His barakah and mercy, inshallah. We mentioned that one of the most important characteristics of a mu'min, a believer, is haya and chastity, modesty and ifah of that person, which according to traditions that we mentioned, and inshallah more traditions we'll talk about tonight, that la haya liman la deena lah. For the one who doesn't have deen, there is no haya. The one who doesn't have haya doesn't have deen. الحياء والإيمان مقرونان في قرن فإذا ذهب أحدهما تبعه صاحبه. They're like two sides. Imagine when they put braid two sides of the ropes together. The two important things next to each other make the iman stronger. If they're not together, فإذا ذهب أحدهما, when one of this goes away, iman and haya, when one of them goes away, the other one will go away as well. Iman and haya. We mentioned that there are different types of chastity and modesty that we have to observe. We mentioned it's for both men and women, and very crucial. Last night and the night before we mentioned about the effort of the stomach, chastity of the stomach and haya, what you eat, what you do, the way that you walk. One of the very important aspects of this topic is the haya of looking in eyes, the way that you use your eyes, which is very tied to the whole topic of Ramadan. All the time, and specifically on Ramadan, if you remember in Qutb Sha'baniyah, it says, أَبْصَارَكُمْ أَمَّا حَرَمَ. Those things that are haram for you, you have to lower your gaze from those things. In ayat of Quran, in our traditions, keep repeating these things. You have to lower your gaze. You have to make sure you control your gaze. When something is being repeated over and over, you understand this is very important. Imagine you're reading an essay, you see one topic is being repeated over and over. So you know that the author is really think this is important. You have to think about this. When in Quran, in traditions, recommendations, we have a lot of recommendations about controlling gaze. It looks like it's very important, and we have to pay attention to this. Quran says, Surah Nur ayat 30, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, قُلْ لِلْمُؤْمِنِينَ يَغُضُّوا أَبْصَارَهُم وَيَحْفَظُوا فُرُوجَهُم ذَلِكَ أَزْكَىٰ لَهُمْ إِنَّ اللَّهَ خَيْرٌ خَبِيرٌ بِمَا يَصْنَعُونَ. So tell the believers that they must lower their gaze. This is ayat Quran. They must lower their gaze and guard their private parts. It is more decent for them, and surely Allah is all aware and He knows everything. So, very interesting part is that, and then right after the 31st it says, وَقُلْ لِلْمُؤْمِنَاتِ يَغْضُضْنَ أَبْصَارَهُنَّ وَيَحْفَظْنَ فُرُوجَهُنَّ. The same thing for women. Tell them that they have to control their eyes, they have to guard their private parts, make sure. These two comes together, effort of batin and farj, as you see, they are being emphasized a lot. And when you see that the root of any specific, haram and issue in that side of adultery, anything, it starts from looking, haram look. And there's a haram look leads to something else. And there's a haram looks to distract that person. And again, this is for all ages. It's not especially for one age. Some people, they can't control this. That goes all the way to the side of sickness that they can't control their eyes. It's out of their control. It's out of their control. There's no control over that. They want to control their eyes, they can't. You might have seen some people. It's not that they're necessarily enjoying it. No, they can't control it anymore. Like the eyes is out of their control. And a very interesting part, when Islam says you have to control and lower your gaze, the biggest part is this. When you keep looking at different people psychologically, different peoples in the street, you keep taking pictures from the best parts of their body. Someone who has haram look. So someone is look at the nose of this person, mashallah, is very beautiful. The lips of that person, very beautiful. The eye of some person, that beautiful. The other part of that person is very beautiful, right? So he will or she will fantasize a picture in their mind of a very ideal creature, that who I love is this look, right? And when they go home and look at their spouse, oh my God, it's far away from what I have in my mind. It's so, that was a little ugly, what I seen outside, he doesn't see, she doesn't see the other issues of that person probably, but they create something in their mind that that's the best things. So when they go to their spouse, of course, it's not as what they put all these parts together, and they, guess what happened? The chaos, the problem, the issue, nagging, all these things will just start happening. And psychologically, that person is not content and satisfied anymore and keeps looking for something because he's upset. And the majority of, specifically, men that they have this issue cannot control, they fall into this problem as well. If they go all the way extreme, I'm talking about when it becomes like a sickness, they can't control themselves. And then definitely they have issues, they have marital issues sometimes and problems. And of course it makes someone else sensitive. Why you keep looking at others? I have many people come to my office and complain specifically we're in the restaurant, why are you looking around? Sometimes that person doesn't understand. It's just become a habit, unfortunately. We have to lecture about the habits. That says one of the most important things for a moment is to get rid of his bad habits, right? Something becomes habit, but that habit makes some mistakes, right? So it's so important here. So in order to control that, remember, you need to go through the process of controlling, through the process of training your nafs and your ego. Try to get control over yourself, your body parts, your mentality. You're in charge. You are supposed to tell your eyes what to look at and where to look at. You're supposed to tell your mind what to think about, right? By controlling it. Anyhow that you think you can control your eyes. The best way is that put some policies for yourself. Remember the topic of kind of disciplining yourself and punishing yourself? If I missed it, if I look at something that was not supposed to look purposely. If it's not purposely, Islam says, you know what, you have a look, it's not purposely, it's not okay, so don't continue. That's the hook. You look at something, you can just look down if you cannot. So you saw something, don't continue. Continuing that is haram. You have to stop looking at it. But even that, if I cannot, put something for yourself. If I keep looking, if something happened and you're to do it, discipline yourself. However you want. I read one surah of Quran. I put $20 to ICZ Center. Each time for some people they go bankrupt. Something you're disciplining yourself. Maybe that is not your mind in front of your mind to remember that, okay, I promised myself this way. But when you put a discipline, that psychologically is more in front of your mind that you can remember faster. So that you keep, I know this is very common that some people they have for themselves. If this happened to me, I decide one juz off for example. I do this and that. Something a little bit harder, so no, it's not that easy to do that. But they're on a discipline, right? For children who say disciplining, if something happened, you have to go do this. You have to go clean here. You have to go clean that room. You can't play anymore. Something, either positive or negative, they have to control themselves, right? So, and again, nowadays, unfortunately, because it's not about always going out, about all these social medias and stuff like that, that can be right there in front of someone, for seconds. So it's more epidemic nowadays because of social media. Before that person had to go out and somewhere crowded, look at someone, but now everything is worse than what they could find outside. It's in the devices. So that's why it's very important. من حرم الحياة فهو شر كله وإن تعبد وتبرع. The one who has very scary hadith. The total shar is for someone who he or she cannot have or doesn't have hayah. The total shar. Even if he or she worships Allah and try to have taqwa. The total shar is for someone who doesn't have. Now I want you to look around in the societies, in the, in this world nowadays. That person might be very famous. That person might be a celebrity, right? That person can be very well known for everyone and have thousands and million followers. If there's no haya, the hadith is saying the total shadow is for this person. Even though they try to say no, contrary. Allah knows what He means by the total shadow or something. There is a reason that says sharrun kulluh. What this person can do sometimes to this level, not themselves, they can spread out the lack of haya to the society, not having haya to the society. Impurity to other people as well. I always say sometimes someone sell, for example, something haram. He has liquor, something okay, having haram is doing something. Someone who is distributing it, he has more issue. Someone who is making it, someone who is working in the lab to make different cakes so people, to attract people. These are people different, in the same industry but different sins, different situations, right? That's very important to pay attention. Al-Wara and Maharam Allah, as we say that, Maharam of Allah is someone who can control himself from this prohibited things I mentioned in ANC. The second aspect of haya that we're going to talk about tonight is haya in the speech. Very interesting. As I said, Islam goes to the detail of our life Islam. Haya in the speech. Sometimes you see that some people in front of others, they talk very nicely or beautifully, mashallah, but when it comes to their family, Bismillah, whatever comes, however comes, whatever words comes, we said haya all the time. The words that we choose, the way that we talk, the tone of voice that we use. Why in our culture, alhamdulillah, says when you talk to an older one, you have to control your range of your tone of voice, the way that you talk specifically. And it's not specifically for older ones, younger ones as well. The haya is the way that you talk. إن اتقيتن فلا تخضعن بالقول فيسمع الذي في قلبه مرض وقلن قولا معروفا. O wives of the Prophet, very interesting. Ayah Quran. You're not like any other woman, so if you observe taqwa, so you should not be too soft in your speech, lest someone having disease in his heart should develop fancies about you, and do speak the appropriate manner and words. When you want to talk, specifically when it comes to non-mahram, don't try to change your tone of voice. Don't try to be nicer, so all Quran saying very nicely. Maybe that person has a disease in his heart. Maybe you have a good intention, you're fine. But you don't know the other side. Maybe that person has a disease in his heart that it would affect them and go back to you with affect you. We have seen in movies a lot. The first person didn't have any intention, the second person got a wrong intention, and they'll push the first person, Very interesting that it says, okay, so you might have a good intention, but حرم الجنة على كل فاحش بذي قليل الحياء. Jannah is haram, forbidden for the person كل فاحش بذي قليل الحياء. The one who has less haya and use bad words. Bidhi is the one who's cursing. Who's cursing? The one who curses when he talks, when she talks, it looks like they don't have haya. And Jannah is haram for this person. وَلَا يُبَالِ مَا قَالَ وَلَا مَا يُقِيلَ لَهُ. And they don't care what they're saying or what others are saying. Talking about that. It's important. All aspects of yourself and your life matters in your iman. Remember we said something, we do everything, we're not improving as fast as we're supposed to do. We're not going to the next level. What's going on? We do everything. Salah, maybe we have to look at those obstacles, hurdles that they don't let us move forward. So, Man kathura kalamuhu kathura khataa'uhu. The one who talks a lot will keep making mistakes. The khata and mistakes of that person will be increased, this person. وَمَنْ كَثَرَ خَطَأُهُ قَلَّ حَيَاءُهُ. The one who keeps making mistake will suffer from less haya. The one one who keeps making mistakes, what will happen? قَلَّ حَيَاءُ, will decrease their haya. وَمَنْ قَلَّ حَيَاءُ قَلَّ ضَرَرُهُ. The one who has less haya, chastity, will have less vara, control over themselves when it comes to haya, to haram, to control themselves. Sometimes you see a little child has haya, little girl has haya, and it just comes to control themselves to have haya. وَمَنْ قَلَّ ضَرَرُهُ مَاتَ قَلْبُهُ. And the one who has less vara and control over themselves against haram and Islam, مَاتَ قَلْبُهُ. The heart of this person is dead. That's the end of the life of someone. Not this heart that is working physically. The soul of this person is dead. وَمَنْ مَاتَ قَلْبُهُ دَخَلَ النَّارِ. The one whose heart is dead, the hellfire is waiting for that person. The hellfire. Death of heart. They do everything wrong, they don't even care. They don't even understand that that's wrong. They don't even see it as an issue. They don't even see it as a sin, as a problem. It's a death of heart. There's no consciousness anymore. There's no God consciousness anymore. This is just, no, that's fine. Who said that? You see the sequence here? The one who talks a lot makes more mistakes. The one who makes mistakes have less haya. The one who has less haya has less vara. And vara means that control. And vara and maharim Allah. The one who has less vara has, the heart of this person is dead. And at the end is what? Ourselves, our family, children. Not only we should have haya individually, the society, the community should haya as well. The family should haya as well. All these aspects, the way that we talk, the way that we dress in front of each other, the way that we interact with each other. You should see haya when two mahram and non-mahram, they're talking to each other. There should be obvious haya between them. Bashfully, they don't want to talk to each other. There's something that, if this is necessary, as Islam says, if it's necessary to talk, discussion, we will talk. When it's over, I'm not going to ask you how was the weather, how was yesterday. It's not my business how were you, non-mahram to me, how was yesterday. You know what I mean? This is so important. أعينوني بورع واجتهاد وعفة وسداد. It's been manqul from Amir al-Imam alayhi salatu wassalam. That says, help me, interesting, with taqwa. Amir says, help me through him. Help me with taqwa. God consciousness first, and you control yourself. Bewara'in, and control yourself as I said. Wajtihadin, put effort into this. Be active in these aspects. Work towards getting better. Wa'iffatin, chastity. Help me with chastity, be chaste. Wasadadin, and being strong in this fast. Be strong. Secondly, then, is if you want to be a good follower, which is Islam. Rasulullah says, if you want to be a good Muslim, do it in action. Follow me in action. The same famous ayah, in الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ. In amal you should do that. Which is about controlling all these things that we mentioned. And we said sometimes it's about even more, advanced, about in the most private time of your life, you should have vara and taqwa. You should have chastity and haya. When you're all alone, when you're in your mind thinking about something, you should have haya. Because what? Because a mu'min would see Allah hazir and nazir all the time in front of him and her. And Allah knows everything in my heart. Why, when it comes to Ramadan, they said if you make a decision in your mind that I'm going to go drink water, it's your fasting is void. In your mind, you made a decision. And even you don't go, you don't drink anything. You just make a decision in your mind, I'm going to go get it and drink it. That's it. First of all, you have to finish that day, and then you have to do the other. Why? The power of your mind. Otherwise, Allah says, very interesting. You should have enough control over your mind that in Ramadan you shouldn't even have the intention to go break your fast. We're not even accepting that you're not controlling your mind. That shows how mind is important. That shows when you're all alone, you have to train this mind that always think about something. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, inshallah. Let me finish with this as well. There's some wrong haya as well. La haya' fi deen. When it comes to deen, don't be ashamed of asking questions about deen. When it comes about following your Islamic duties and regulations, don't be afraid be ashamed and be embarrassed to do that. Don't be embarrassed. When it comes to deen, I have to do it. I have to go do it, I have to take wuzu, I have to do ghusl. There's no haya, inshallah, in these aspects that we mentioned. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد وعجل فرجهم. اللهم عجل لنبيك الفرج العافية والناس ومد في عمره الشريف. زين الأرض بطول بغائه واجعلنا من أعوانه الأنصار وشيعته. يا رحمن يا رحيم ثبت قلوبنا على دينك. Ya Allah, help us in the rest of this month be able to be better servants for you. Ya Allah, help us and forgive us in the rest of this month. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, hasten the zuhur of our Imam Mahdi. Ya Allah, help our youth, make them successful in dunya wal akhirah. Those who have hajat, give them khair hajat. Those who are sick, cure them. And those who passed away, send the thawab and the barakah of this gathering to do so, inshallah. Rahim Allah man yaqra al-Fatiha ma as-salawat.